Good, whatever. Whenever you're watching this episode of the St. Cloud Divorce Show, my screen paused up there for a moment, so I don't know how quick I was getting here, and I think my audio just got messed up. So I'm here with my co-host, divorce expert Spurg Snake. How are you doing today, Spurg Snake? Yep, my audio just got fucked up for some reason.
No, that wasn't you. That was me. I was muted. I'm doing pretty good.
And we are starting off the show as amateur hacks. That's been a theme for the past couple of weeks. I'm a year in, and my amateur hackness is just becoming more and more. But thank you all for joining episode 8 of the St. Cloud Moron Show, or as it's still known on Twitch, the St. Cloud Divorce Show. We are live on Twitch this week. Can't put moron in the title, so fix that.
Really?
We'll see if they have a problem. Yeah, we were not live on Twitch last week. Just like when we did our Chatting with Beloved Chatters episode, the episode did not go live on Twitch because it does not like Spurg, and it does not like Moron. So those are two things that I am now aware of that I cannot use on Twitch. We'll see what else that they don't like.
Yeah, but that's why
also YouTube doesn't like successful failures. I was a big fan of our show, so we are going to have to move that off of YouTube. Going to take a little break from that. I would like to do our Tales from the Crypt 5 best and 5 worst, but we'll have to make. I want it to be on YouTube to get a lot of eyeballs. So we will have to do a workaround. A lot less clips for that one.
Yeah, no clips. What I'll do for my end, I'll do screenshots if I have to. And make
Are you still with me, or did my sound just fuck up again?
Can you hear me?
Yep, my sound just fucked up again. I am an amateur hack. Off and back.
Yeah, Allie, you know moron, no Spurg. There's a lot of other words that Twitch just has on a dictionary-sized laundry list. And that's why I changed my name to Secret Snake for a while, because I thought I was going to try to go to Twitch, and I just changed it back to Spurg Snake. I am who I am.
Yeah, YouTube is still okay with that, and that was a lot of fun that you had with really pissing people off and them getting angry at someone named Spurg Snake. So yeah, okay, twice in a row, I have fixed my audio. I'm becoming more of an amateur show here in my second year. Aaron, you're rubbing off on me.
Yeah, that's exactly right. If you keep watching, you'll start developing some remarkable habits.
It's the same with Shuli and John. Like Shuli said, he's going to have to quit the show when he fully transforms into John, and it's happening more and more. That's when I noticed that Shuli is as much a stand-up comedian as Stuttering John. That was a big strike with me of like, hey, wait a minute. You do stand-up like once a year, maybe?
There's so many people skating by on that. It says it in Keanu's bio first. Like, she's a stand-up comedian. I'm like, you did stand up once, as far as I know, for this guy, that guy, that guy.
Actually, let's jump ahead to Keanu and Aaron doing a little goofing on, because I don't find Gino funny. And so far, I haven't found Keanu to be funny. But as Gino, someone 20 years my minor looking sexy as that, I'm going to go for it. And she's just slightly less funny than Gino. So here is some of Keanu's skills at work. This one is from our Clipper friend, Nat Clo 2.0. We've seen a lot of just meandering chatter with Aaron and Keanu, and here they are trying to do some bits.
Get back at the government is let that hair follicle test get released, buddy.
If this is all true too, that's why that kid was so talkative and chatty. Hi, hello, officer. Could I please have some clothes? Mommy and Daddy, they're sleeping in the bed with 4 other people. Also, there's powder everywhere. Anyway, hi, I'm hungry.
Hi, do you
I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am.
Aaron's catching on. Ooh, we can go back and forth on this with a little while she is just throwing duds. Lot of she has got some milk duds that she has opened up and sharing with us.
It's like you said.
Do you like the Joker?
Not funny. Meandering talk.
So we have another 2 minutes of this going back and forth, and both Scylla Cyborg and Ace Smith are with me. That Shuli stinks. So Luigi Greenberg is still a fan. I understand that the Uncle Rico show can be fun in the chat room. I had fun in there until I was like, wait a minute.
Quit trying to trick me.
This guy.
Yeah, quit trying to trick me into Shuli stuff. No, but I agree. There's a win by 2 as well. I don't really care for the show. But there's a lot of cool people in his chat that are goofing around, and
I do miss Cardiff's Kids, especially Cardiff's Kids and Dave Daffler. There were a bunch of fun people in Shuli's chat room, and there's our good buddy. He's having fun over there in the chat room for those who don't have the shits of Shuli like the two of us do. And he made our thumbnail for today. Thank you very much, Luigi Greenberg. I was trying to do a little AI art, but I don't have the proper site yet. And that fits in with this past week of the bear hug from WrestleMania 3. Andre the Hack and April Hogan there trying to hulk up. Keanu is gaining a reputation as the Dabbleverse Slayer. Donna Martin deserved it.
Aaron the Giant looked a little bit like Newman from Seinfeld to me, because he was so fat there. Like he had, so maybe if Aaron fattens up, he can get some movie roles. Yeah, that's what else I was gonna say. She's always in the NLO YouTube chat, and she's in Spurgtopia all the time too. Just add her; she'll come over and hang out.
If Gino goes all Ray Pruitt on Keanu, I may go to his side. If she doesn't have the boxer jaw to take that hit, and Hackride's starting to get annoyed with Luigi Greenberg and I's Ray Pruitting, but some bits are here to stick around. And
that's right.
We're going to kick that one around as often as Ropey loads.
Oh, have you ever seen Mask of the Phantasm? It's a really good animated film.
Hi, hello, police officers.
That is a good animated film.
It's obscure to children today, like people our age, and like there's, as I've said about Aaron, there's certain things about him. Like I could be a fan, I could kind of in some ways be a buddy of his with his obscure movie references, but I don't feel like he does the obscure movie references right. Pulling it, yeah, a great film. I guess I'm just trying to poke holes in this coked up current kid who doesn't know Mask of the Phantasm.
Yeah, I don't think I have. Maybe he's seen it on TV at Nick's house. They were watching it or something. They probably still got their VCR from what it sounds like in the house.
I'm not allowed to let you in. Go away. Yes, no, come.
Damn it! I cut you off again. We were.
Oh no, that's all right. I looked away and then I had a thought. No, but Paul Dini, Batman the Animated Series is like the fucking shit. It's the best.
Oh yeah, Paul Dini created Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
and I've got possibly an upcoming co-host audition with a lady who absolutely hates what has happened to Harley Quinn. So that's hopefully she doesn't bore. I've actually went through a lot of potential host contenders on co-host auditions where I preview it, and I'm previewing it for like 5-10 minutes. I'm like, I got nothing to work with here, and sometimes that nothing can work, but I'm like, nope, can't do it on this one.
No, but sometimes you end up with awkward silence. Ugh.
Come back. I'm stinky. Can I have clothes? Thank you.
Are you guys here? My mom's really sad. Her boyfriend left.
Oh my God. You want to know what? One way to get your children to rat on your, ridiculous goings on in your home, let them get into the stockpile of blow that you have. They'll chirp, 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 chirp away.
Hey, are you guys here for Mommy and Daddy's Fun Dip? It's really good.
Mommy and Daddy have a lady that they sleep with every night.
All right, looks like Keanu was getting away with the bit, but Aaron's like, no, this bit has the legs of a centipede. Let's get back to it. Ha ha ha.
So crazy. Yeah.
Our nanny makes sure Mommy and Daddy are tucked in really well. Ha 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 ha.
I sticks are moldy. Can you please help me? Help me, please.
I smell like you guys smell like coffee. I smell like rat.
Oh, I can send in Duke Phillips on someone other than myself for that little stumble fuck there. Get in here, Duke. Let's set that up again so Duke can properly react to it.
Did really well.
I sticks are moldy. Can you please help me? Help me, please.
I smell like a you guys.
Where's the joke? Sir, we're on the air. I know we're on the air, but where's the joke?
Stumble fucking all over himself like I am.
I've been doing good today.
Doing okay today. But he's supposed to be an actual broadcaster who's working his way back to radio. Wonder what other archaic formats that he'll get onto. Maybe the ham radio?
I was going to say, he's going AM now.
That's where I listened to Stern in Baltimore after he moved to New York. 1300 AM, WJFK, which is good for syndication. Actually, Bubba ended up on AM radio after Sirius, didn't he? He got kicked off of FM, and Aaron is a big Bubba guy. I was a big fan of Bubba in the Sirius days and then dropped off pretty darn quickly. And I think we mentioned last week, without the cast of characters, he lost his luster big time with me, where Aaron is like number 2. I think Aaron's list is actually Anthony Cumia, number 1 radio guy, Bubba the Love Sponge, number 2, Aaron Imholt, number 3.
That's basically it. I think he thinks he's on par with Bubba right now. I'm pretty sure he's like, oh, me and Bubba are pretty much the same. And that's not true at all. Because I will give Bubba credit.
You're saying you're giving Bubba more credit than I would currently. Bubba currently, I would put only slightly above Aaron. He's
okay. Fair enough.
Talking of the clone of a clone, I forgot to Photoshop last week of 2 Anthony Cumias and an Aaron Imholt there in the back seat for.
That'll be good.
I'm so happy that like when he makes these obscure movie references to Keanu, it's like, nah, that doesn't work. But when I make it to you, you're someone who gets my multiplicity references.
Oh yeah, and he does. He digs into some weird movies. I was just gonna make the hello, Detroit. She was being extra wordy with her Coke jokes. You don't need to use the word stockpile in a joke. And I think
just reaching for that joke, and I do kind of get that of opening your mouth and starting the joke before you've kind of figured it out, which is why I put Duke Phillips on here. I've got to blatantly point out and accept my failures.
Yeah, I agree. And he'll get me one day too. Sure, I'm sure of it.
You guys smell like coffee. I smell like rat piss. You guys want to be friends?
No,
I don't know why I feel so good. I just
I'm laughing at them.
This powder, and I just started
struggling with this. I'm just laughing at what's going on. I'm not laughing at each individual because they're funny. The collective bit is just so horrible, and I can't help it.
And when you're trying to do a kid on coke, it is kind of hard to keep your brain up with what he's going to say and try to do the kid on coke. And they don't have the little kid accent inflection up here. So
that's where you got to go.
Getting your brain to go as fast as you want to do when you don't have this bit developed. I will. I guess I'm on their side here. I understand them stumble fucking all over themselves.
It is
really
it is
trying to make this work.
For me, it's the Micro Machines guy. That's who you got to talk like. You got to talk very quickly and blah, 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 and be able to hit all of those words clearly. I just started to try and I fell over myself. So, no, thank you. I'm mushmouth.
Eating it and I feel great.
I'm surrounded by filth and shit, and I have a terrible diet, and I barely eat, but I feel great.
My daddy never looks at me. Can you please help? I'm so sad. No, I'm not. Yes, I
like the bipolar aspect.
I feel like we're hitting a wall with this bit. We've got another minute and 10 left. I feel like we've hit the wall, and we can't really go much further. We haven't developed it as well as we would hoped, but let's see where they go with another minute.
My daddy wrote a grown man a letter. He never writes me a letter or even talks to me. Help me, please help me.
My dad never said he loved me, but he called the man fucking my mommy a pugilist.
Isn't that funny, that word pugilist? I can't spell. I haven't been to school in 3 days. Help me, please.
You know the word pugilist? The first part of that word is what we all smell like because our dad neglects us. Pew.
Isn't it funny? I've been wearing the same clothes for a week. Please help me. I stink. Help me. The other kids don't like me. Yes, they do. No, they don't.
All right, the bipolar, it's starting to be fun, but she's just falling back to help me. Help me. Help me.
Wow, that's sad.
Oh man. I'm just glad that the police didn't find that Whippets canister with cartridges that they buy online allegedly in their home. Not that they have that or don't.
Whippets?
What?
And Aaron just turning this back to another, I need to get some revenge on the Ricadas, as he went to the I smell like rat piss, and now this accusation that's not an accusation of this special whippet attachment.
I said if they do or they don't. I didn't say they did. I didn't say that there's a
I
big
put it
green
away.
Whippets canister and then they have a bunch of little green cartridges that you just plug into the Whippets thing and then suck in with your mouth. And then you just do that over and over and over again. I didn't say they had that. If somebody did, though, that'd be fucked up, though. Because, like, you don't need cocaine, ketamine, and then a shitload of Whippets.
I
Dude,
think I've lived
Aaron,
life,
man.
but I just...
So that was how long that fucking bit went. And
it ends on Whippets.
And if you're going to do Whippets, just go and get the condensed air. That's how you, like the Whippets are a lamer form of a lame condensed air.
So
that's how you get that type of nitrous balloon type of feel.
The Wawas.
Wah, wah,
Wah, wah,
wah, wah, wah, wah. That's the sound I love. And I do believe once Vice City came out, I was familiar with what Giggle Cream was.
So good.
I went into
so
Best
good.
Buy and bought that condensed air, and I wanted to throw them off my scent, so I also bought season 1 of Rocky and Bullwinkle on DVD, which of course didn't just add to this guy is getting high with this.
Yeah, exactly. You just set yourself up. That's so good.
Yeah, even more. Like I can't come in and buy just this condensed air. They'll be on to me. I'm gonna
Well, at
buy
least-
two things. I'm gonna buy Rocky and Bullwinkle, and that first season was 52 fucking episodes. It was like
all them old
front
cartoons.
and back.
No, oh, yeah. At least it wasn't like Schindler's List or something, though, because then they might have thought you were a fucking weirdo getting high watching a Nazi documentary movie.
So I'm glad to see someone we featured. He changed his name. I forget what it was before, but Corey into Corner is making some more Aaron music videos. And we featured him, I think, on episode 3 with a few Aaron music videos, and he's back with another one.
So April and I are having this fight. We're in the kitchen, and I mean, it's getting bad. It's every bad fight you have. It's that. It's the first bad fight of our marriage. We are nose to nose. We were face to face arguing quietly. I wrapped my arms around April and I squeezed her until she couldn't breathe. If you're a friend of mine, headbutt. And a friend of April's, yeah, headbutt. I mean, it is just headbutt. I mean, a big headbutt. If you're a friend of mine, headbutt. And a friend of April's, yeah, headbutt. I mean, it is just headbutt. I mean, it's a headbutt party. Rule number 1 of parenting: you do not headbutt in front of your children. I mean, I've never hit a human being. I've never hit anyone outside of April. So, yeah, I touched her. You know, she didn't want to be touched. I wrap my arms around April and I go, God, it just makes me so mad. That was the squeezing. If you're a friend of mine, headbutt. And a friend of April's, yeah, headbutt. I mean, it is just headbutt. I mean, a big headbutt. If you're a friend of mine, headbutt. And a friend of April's, yeah, headbutt. I mean, it is just headbutt. I mean, it's a headbutt party. Yeah, obviously I hit her. It happens.
Headbutt
It is
party.
a headbutt party. You know, it is a headbutt party.
I do love
missed
that we
yesterday.
are second generation.
So April and I are having this.
We have Corey into Corner, who got this from Will Heron. We are all just in the downline of the very few people who are actually watching this and clipping it for us. So thank you.
Dude, that was
clipping
so
it
good.
for Corey into Corner, who now we are highlighting that ourselves.
Dude, that's that beat in the background was great, and the timing on the edits, it's catchy. It got me, and now I hope I'm not walking around the house saying the word headbutt all day, bobbing my headbutt.
Yeah, Corey into Corner took about a year off from making stuff, and he's making about one a month. So I like what you're doing, Corey into Corner. And we have a question from Isaac Walmart. If you were a toe bro at any point,
Was I a toe bro? Only because I got gifted memberships. But no, so early on, Aaron showed up in my feed because he was messing with Opie. And I had been kind of watching Opie on and off. Because somebody else was also talking about Opie at the time. And one of the lives that I had saw, Opie was begging for money. He wasn't begging like this guy.
the Facebook stars, I remember. Opie was looking for them Facebook stars.
Somebody gave him a 20 and he lost his shit. He was like, wow, thanks, man. That's going to buy me a coffee today, dude. I could really use the $20. And then for like the next 3 or 4 streams, Opie was like, man, YouTube's being cheap. Like he was streaming to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And he would just hammer on the YouTube people for not giving him money as much as his Facebook people. They love me. He was doing the same thing Aaron does, pitting the morning show against the evening show to see who get them to compete for the goal. You know what I mean? And so Opie was trying to say, and that's how I got into Steel Toe. And then he was going after Chad, which I was fine with. But then he got scared out of going after Chad. And that was it for me. I was like, oh, this dude's a bitch. He can dish it, but he can't. Quick. Yeah, that's what it was. It was real
finding
quick.
out his past of where he would really rallied hard against that woman who got the job at the radio station and beat him out for it, and he rallied hard against that and total dish it out but not take it personalities. I'd like to uncover some more of that. I know Nat Clo 2.0 is delving more into his past than some of the other clippers, so hopefully Nat Clo 2.0 finds some more of that rallying and really the vitriol that he was trying to get people for someone who beat him out of a job. And now he's like, how dare, I think we'll get to it a little later, his reaction to all these people who were being mean to him.
Yeah, no, he went hard on that woman. And one of the things I remember him saying was her being fat and he hopes her dogs eat her. Or something like that. Something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. It wasn't exactly that, but he was like hoping her dogs would eat her and called her fat.
You found him through Opie. Shogun and I went down a Darkside Phil rabbit hole for damn near a year. I was watching all the Darkside Phil detractors, and I guess I had my fill of Phil because it's been a while. There's nothing really new with Darkside Phil. He's just going around the same thing. And as Shogun's pointing out here, Aaron turned into Phil, and that's how we discovered him. So all the people who found Aaron and Steel Toe in their algorithm because of his Darkside Phil stuff were very quickly able to make the correlations to like, this is Phil shit. We need money.
Yeah, exactly. And with anybody, there's a whole pasture of lol cows, and they exhibit certain behavior, and he is way up here on that scale. He's like Wagyu lol cow.
Day12 recalls Aaron saying that women shouldn't broadcast. And then that actually reminds me of when Bobby Heenan was a fantastic bad guy commentator and manager. And he had the line, you see, Gorilla, this is why women have no place in professional sports.
Bobby the Brain was the best.
He was perfect for what he needed to be. He could have been a stand-up comedian much more than a lot of the people that are attempting to be stand-up comedians in this world. He had great instincts and was very quick. And I guess I just keep falling back to Ray DeVito of someone who really wants to be a stand-up and just doesn't have the instincts. And thank goodness Carl Hamburger reminded me of Joe Matarese. I am disappointed.
Oh, yeah.
That Joe got scared off the internet and deleted all the shit before I remembered and could do a co-host audition with him on his solo shows. Like once Carl started covering Joe Matarese, I'm like, oh my God, why didn't...
Yeah, exactly.
Just like that, like John Travolta. Oh my God, why did I think of Joe Matarese?
Mr. Carter, oh my God.
audition,
Sorry.
and now I lost my chance because he got self-conscious and he's taking all his solo shit down
Again.
again.
Yeah.
So I've got
I was gonna ask.
the big story since we last did a show is Aaron being a domestic abuser. So here from Reddit, we have from Standard Karab 6937. This is, I believe, a court document from Ashley LaRue, his first wife, that says Aaron is, well, yes, Ashley LaRue, obvious. The first several words point out this is Ashley LaRue. Aaron is my ex-husband. We have 3 children together. After Aaron and I got divorced, Aaron married his current wife, April. Initially, April and I had a good relationship, and she and I were able to communicate well. However, that changed after Aaron learned April had confided in me that Aaron was abusing her. There is a history of domestic abuse between Aaron and April in May through August of 2022 at Charlotte's dance recital. April confided in me that she was being abused by Aaron. April told me that Aaron headbutted her and was squeezing her until she couldn't breathe. So this is something we'll get to next of the Aaron did the divide and conquer.
Yep.
Listening to, I couldn't find the exact clip that I was looking for where he was talking about, like, Aaron seemed to be gung-ho on the fact that the kids have 2 moms and 2 dads, and Ashley appears to be the exact opposite. Like, no, I'm your mom, he's your dad. These are your step parents who, they're not your parents. They're not your second mom and second dad. So that appears to be where Aaron was very upset and was able to start manipulating April into, like, she's trying to undermine you. You're not their mom, but you're their mom. So that appears where he found that ability to put that wedge in and stop that relationship, that good relationship between his current wife and his ex-wife. And it was better for Aaron, the fact that they did not get along instead of them
Exactly.
being friends.
Yeah, and that's a long time. You know, April, May, June, July, August of 2022. That's 2 years ago now. And it's just come out. He was doing that to her on camera, verbally. He was just doing it to Johnny. That's probably the more recent example that people will remember. But Mersh kept tweeting, or kept super chatting, and Aaron kept reading it, and it was frustrating Johnny. I've watched him do the same thing over no money to April. Like, he would just be reading fucking comments out of the thing. April looks like she's on coke, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, really just shitting on her verbally. And
yeah, since we're bringing that up, we can get to this clip from NatClo 2.0, Steel Toe Media Inc. Workplace Harassment, this one is called. And yeah, a lot of examples of Aaron through the chat verbally abusing April.
Spends the beginning of the she's always primping.
Today I had to go get something.
April is a primper. That's for sure.
Could you just cool it? I had to help you today.
You are a bit of a primper. You
What did I
are.
have to do for
Don't
you
get,
today?
we're fucking around. We're joking. Don't be an ass.
Oh, I'm really stressed when I'm late.
I know. I
will
think how stressed I am when you're late.
You can.
Obviously, he's fucking pissed off, and he's trying to play it off like I'm not pissed off. He's just very much just poking her.
I want to beat his ass for that. Not because of April, just in general. He needs to be punched a lot. With no gloves.
King Yeti, a lot of you beloved chatters are really hilarious people, pointing out that you're very funny in these chat rooms. And if he had the arrogance of Ray or Aaron, he would be Dave Chappelle. The smartest people and the most talented people, often have that self-doubt that stops them from just going headlong into doing this.
Yeah, just a horrible, slow circle down the drain. Also, I was watching some Dave Chappelle stuff yesterday. Blue Streak with Martin Lawrence. I haven't seen that, and I don't know how that got past me.
There is only one thing I remember from Blue Streak when Dave Chappelle was the wheelman and he was chain smoking cigarettes outside of the place he was robbing, and that's how they were like, "What is this pile of cigarettes outside of this parked car outside of this bank?" I recall that part of Blue Streak, and you just told him you have a cat in your pants in Spanish. I remember vague little bits of Blue Streak.
The clip I saw yesterday, Martin Lawrence was talking to some gangsters, and he was like, "Don't mess with my man," and he points at Dave Chappelle, and then Chappelle starts doing like fake, the like he's gonna hurt somebody, and then gets his ass kicked. Yeah, no gloves. Douche of the devil wears no gloves. Gloves are off.
I love you, Solo.
We're all stressed.
You are the
I
solo.
know, but I'm doing the show with you, so I'm not going to start the show solo.
Well, you can rest assured I don't want to be late. So
This
if
is
I'm
the-
late, if something was important.
This is the funny show fighting that people think is going to lead to me killing and fucking April's corpse. This is the fun show.
This is fun. This isn't real.
That's what I mean.
Not real at all.
And he's not the kind of guy who could leave the shit on the mic. You know what I mean? As soon as they get off air, it continues immediately. It's like, why just, because you can see it in her face. It's like everybody else can see what he doesn't, and everybody else knows what he's doing. It's little
Show
snipey
fun.
comments.
We missed yesterday.
Comments.
We're gonna.
You're a primper. Hit it a like button.
Fucking April's corpse. This is the fun show fighting.
Yeah,
How do they not
I
get
don't
that?
Give a shit. It's just
Talk into your fucking mic.
They're that flash of real pissed off emotion, and then trying to
The
put
sigh.
on the I'm joking face. When I squeezed you until the air was out of you, I was joking. I was playing Andre the
Talk
Giant.
into your fucking mic.
You can see it in his eyes there.
He knows he's getting away with shit too because he's on camera.
Oh yeah,
Asshole.
there's a nice him just going full psycho for a moment before catching himself and like we're joking here.
He can't.
Not
Oh
get
man.
that.
it's just
Yeah, you're all right. I'm
Talk into
mumbling.
your fucking mic.
That.
Oh, Cheesehead's coping. He says, "This isn't funny. It's real." I know you need that, buddy, but you got to calm down and stop being such an Aspergery fuck. There she goes. Ladies and gentlemen, April's got it figured out.
I have something to say. I don't know
You have
what's
something to
wrong
say?
with these.
That cheer, that degrading cheer, that making fun of her cheer is so douchey.
I agree. It's a bad one. And he hits it all the time for everything. He cheers himself all the time. He says,
ironically, completely unironically, he throws that cheer on himself, which douche chills all around. And J-Bra pointing out not wanting to be famous or popular. That's like I wanted to be a that guy actor. I wanted to get paid for pretending and be on that level where you kind of recognize me, but you don't know if we went to high school together or I was your former coworker or I was that guy who delivered that one dry line of dialogue. Oh, or the old man dancing in Cable Guy.
I got that on a GIF now, so I'm so happy.
That guy is fantastic. Of all the things we talked about in the Cable Guy, that's sticking with me the most was that background actor. I'm certain that scene was shot last where they just had 6 extras breaking into the room and they're like, all right, pick 6 of the people from the big scene. Well, definitely him. He's one of them.
He goes right here. Yeah, that's it. Here, right there. He sticks his tongue out. I love it, dude. It's so good.
They're like very quiet. Very quiet.
Which one did you plug into? Could you please look? And then we can
I think
start
it's the
our
right
fucking
one.
show, please. I just want to start the show.
start your show.
I can't.
You're
You're half of it.
the host.
What is the number?
2.
There.
Ah.
Is that better? And if you say too loud, so help me
It's
God.
fine.
Okay.
Thank
Good.
you.
No, help me
Cheesehead
God.
says, leave him, April. Verdict?
Why? Do you think that you're going to do better? I don't know. Am I supposed to leave Aaron and go for Cheesehead? No.
That is a very interesting take Cheesehead has, and it is worthy of a response. And the response is why?
I'm not really mad at anyone. I understand why he is being. I understand what Aaron's doing.
Point out something that's wrong right now. So help me God,
No,
I'm going to rip my own cock off and jam it up my asshole.
What is wrong with you?
What did you point to?
You gay F word.
What's the point?
Why do you have the news?
So March 7th, 2024. This is like 3 weeks away from when she is out of the house.
Yeah, exactly 3 weeks away. And I thought this would be taking place in January, almost directly after Christmas. They held on 3 more months or 4 more months. I thought it was all going to fall apart because I thought Aaron was more broke than he is. Now I know he's more broke than he is. I think the number is $5,000. April got out of the bank account before he could get it closed. But I don't know. That's rumor.
She did the old Mrs. Kumia.
Oh yeah, the first Mrs. Kumia. That's right.
Shared account. I think there's only been one Mrs. Kumia, right? All the others have been girlfriends.
Yeah, he didn't make that mistake twice.
But
the one he's with now is essentially his wife.
Oh yeah, Missy B is absolutely gorgeous. Looks like he learned his lesson not to go too young with that whole Danny Brand incident. She was she was both young and a crazy person, which yes. I understand. I do agree with Anthony on that. A crazy lady can win my heart very easily.
It happened to me.
Nutella here.
See why? Why do you have to bring?
That's not a negative.
But the audience can't see that I have a jar of Nutella sitting next to me. Now, what are they going to think? Now that they know,
fat pig.
You like Nutella?
That I'm a big fat fuck.
Why does that make you a fat fuck?
Yeah, well, I just hung it up yesterday.
This was not hanging up. It was on the floor.
No, the red one.
I don't.
The red one was hanging up. Of course, the black one was on the floor.
Shirt is red?
This dude.
Yeah. The one you called pink, it's red.
I thought.
I just hung it up yesterday. This is a badass Brett the Hitman Hart shirt. This is a black shirt.
He's just doing a show and tell with his Brett the Hitman Hart shirt. Okay, I'll give it to you. That's a cool Bret Hart shirt. It's got a very edgy Canadian maple leaf on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. And skulls, because Canada's known for being tough and angry.
Panasonic Tooth might have been wooed by Danny Brand as well. He found her hot. The crazy lady, it's the young thing for me. Somewhere around the mid-20s, mid-30s and crazy, then you can get me. But that young and crazy, nope. You can't get me at that because he got her really young, which I think he was making.
He went to prom, right? That was
yes. He went to prom with a girl. He was making a gag one time when he was like, "No laws." Patrice asked, "What is the youngest you'll go?" And he threw out 12.
Yeah, that's what that was. I like, oh, that's not funny.
And Patrice was like, "You're not joking." He's like, "I'm joking." No, you're not. That was a serious answer.
Yeah, no, and that was why I love Patrice so much. He would always call Anthony on his shit, and Anthony loved him for it because I think a lot like Gina won't do that. I would do it because I don't owe Anthony anything. You know what I mean? Like those guys all kind of owed him, and even if Patrice felt like he owed Anthony, he still wouldn't let him slip. That's a friend. Don't say that shit.
Was like going too far with him calling out Anthony and his friends when he was with the network. Like he was a mutated version of Patrice who Anthony could not handle and had to get off Compound. I think it was still the Anthony Cumia network at that point. Had to get off his network pretty quickly because that mutated form of Patrice Anthony could not deal with.
That's what I mean, and I think Ant wanted to do that, surround himself with yes people, because he just didn't want to. He just wanted to do what he wanted to do and not have any hurdles.
When he was so rich. You kind of don't want to hear people tell you you're wrong. The George Lucas Phantom Menace. I think of Mr. Plinkett talking about everyone probably wanted to tell him how wrong he was, but was afraid to do so.
You want to keep your job, don't you?
And a lot of people actually at Compound just lost their job with redundancies, merging over with Gavin. And Aaron had a lot to say about that, completely uninformed.
Oh, yeah, okay. Do you got a clip for that?
Yeah, should we keep going with this one, or should we go ahead?
Oh, no. Yeah, I forget. What keeps... Because April's pissed here. And this is one of the obvious times that she's upset and he's poking her. And then you could see him getting upset and trying to hide it. Because he's snapping back at her. The red shirt.
That's part of Keanu breaking down why she's no longer with. So we'll get to that one next, of the Keanu breakdown and him ill-informed talking about Compound. But we're about halfway through this clip, and I am definitely fascinated of this domestic squabble leaking on to the show, where Aaron's like, we're having fun here, right, audience?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, April. Well, not right, April. Right, April.
Yeah.
Forehead.
And I agree with Douche of the Dabbleverse. It's like, these guys are just wearing a different skin suit. A lot of them, it's the same behavior through and through. Or at least 8 out of the 10 of the checklist.
Oh my god!
And then I spilled water all over the place, all over the electronic equipment. This is now, but damn, you have officially ruined this program.
As much as I liked the glass boot being a prop here, after spilling the water on myself, I no longer have an open glass. I
have a coffee, and I knocked it over. There's a puddle of coffee right here on the floor that I have to get to after the show now.
And this one is more for Stuttering John and Brennan. There was one show where I needed a tissue, and it's not often that I need a tissue, but after that one show, these are right nearby. And I've noticed both Stuttering John, of course, but Brennan as well. When I did a co-host audition with him, it was like, Brennan, you've been doing this for years and you don't have this nearby.
Yeah. And I've heard Melton say the same thing. Nobody has a box of napkins. He was making fun of Aaron because Aaron had a roll of toilet paper instead of a box of, I said napkins, tissues.
Bone Coof, a bunch of the Bane Coof, a bunch of the Clippers got a hold of Keanu's rebuttal. I forget which one I pulled. I believe Doom, Stallion, and my lost interest both clipped Keanu's rebuttal, and we'll do that one next after this little breakdown. So all the main Clippers got a hold of it before she took it down.
Yeah, I watched the second half of it when she was talking about him, and personally, I think this was Kiki and Gino's excuse to get away from him. I think they've been trying to get away from him, but they just can't. They needed that out. You know what I mean? Like there was just not a good enough reason to not be his friend.
Yeah, they were trying to still be friends with both the people in the couple, and didn't want to hard out. And this is so funny. Thank you, Panasonic Tooth, for reporting that Aaron spilled water on himself again on today's stream. March 8th, he did it. And here on July 10th, he spilled water on himself again.
He spilled it on his Roadcaster once, too, already.
I think this is episode.
That one? Okay.
Roadcaster. But one time, I spilled my water on myself. And as much as I love the boot glass as a prop,
it is a cool glass, man.
I've got to go for functionality over look in that department now.
Yeah, I got the classic, give me a pint beer glass for all my shits.
I have now spilled my water all over everything after we watch a dick. Well, I can see it. I'm trying to pick up everything.
April's the only one that gives a shit.
The Roadcaster! Don't yell at me. You're mad.
And Aaron, this is kind of, I see this as DSP type of thinking. Like, if I ruin my stuff, I can just throw it onto the goal.
Right.
These people will pay for it. Don't flip out about it. They're paying for your truck. They can pay for another Roadcaster.
I don't know if you're familiar with this guy. Some people in chat might be. His name's Metal Jesus, and he has a channel called Metal Jesus Rocks, and he's a like Lady Decade. He has a huge video game collection and big, huge game room and all this. And he was accused of scamming his fans because his house leaked. There was a thing in the wall. Insurance covered it, but he still ran a GoFundMe, and people donated. And he was also trying to get his fans to buy him an RV. Like, oh yeah, if we fundraise up an RV, we'll just go on tour all the time. You know, no, that's for you. That's not for your fans. Even if you drive from where you are to BFE somewhere.
Aaron having this big infrastructure that he doesn't have, I would like to hire you and one other person to be part of this, but I don't have the infrastructure. And if I would be just like Aaron, all right, I need to pay my co-host and I need to pay my producer. Here's the goal for the day. And I just can't do that. And I do need to go ahead and get that business license. I've been talking about it for a month of like, I'm scared to make this official. I need to do things right the tax way. I don't want to do things wrong and get that audit by the IRS and kind of know exactly how to do it. But with these Thursdays off in July, one of these days throughout July, I will dedicate that to double, triple, quadruple checking on the things of the business license, open up an account, and then get on those places that I can give me a coffee and 60, 70 away from monetization on YouTube. So thank you, folks, for subscribing to this. Still a Cyborg pointing out that Milton has great takes on the toe, and that's why this show is on a Wednesday. Milton was on to something being off with Aaron way before basically everybody, and him taking Wednesdays off. That's why I decided there's a steel toe hole where Milton is usually goofing on him. And yeah, he is the original and he is relentless.
Yeah, he's pretty. As of late, he's been stepping up the edginess, and I kind of don't care for some of it, but he's very funny. There's no doubt that he holds my attention, and that's exactly what Aaron can't do. He can get eyes on him, but he can't keep them. The Nick Rekieta bump is gone, pun intended.
Luigi Greenberg just told me to check my DMs, and he has sent me some fantastic AI artwork of Donna Martin and Ray Pruitt with Aaron and April's face.
That one I like. That one makes him look wrong. I like this one better. The other one makes him actually look good. Like that's not. Yeah, that's normal.
This one has the proper psycho eyes. This one looked really great when you threw Eric the Midget's face on it, and it looks really great throwing Aaron's face on it. Thank you, Luigi Greenberg. You, if I didn't have to beg for money, I would love to bring you on as a paid member. You are like the way that I don't know if Uncle Rico still does it, but they used to have one of their producers who was fucking quick on the Photoshops, and that's what helped it be really fun when I was watching it. And I really noticed when that guy wasn't there on episodes where that producer wasn't there for the quick Photoshops, it was really lacking once I got used to those quick Photoshops of Bon Jovi and all those things that producer Photoshopper was getting them up on. And Luigi Greenberg, same way, very quick on the AI art. Thank you, sir.
That's hilarious. I can't remember the guy's name. It's escaping me right now. I just knocked my camera.
That's okay. It's amateur day. I started out with
my other camera turned on.
Backup camera. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. Going all Wayne's World on you.
Yeah, I'm all over the place. That's okay. I'm still listening. We're here.
We're here. This is the most amateur episode we've had of the St. Cloud Moron show so far.
My bad.
We're doing it. We're doing it.
Are we? No, I don't think we are.
Producer Robert, stop. You're spilling it. I didn't say they were cheap. Just wipe them up.
Dude.
I'm trying to lift this up. I'm doing what I can.
She's as concerned as he should be.
Yes, exactly. I don't understand
Uh-oh, you just muted my mic.
That's funny that you said I don't understand, and he's saying I understand.
Oh no, you
It
muted
actually
me.
worked into your
You did
dialogue.
that. Okay.
No, he's a dope.
Let me have on.
Mega Mind and Homer. Oh, she's wiping the roadcaster and it's playing all the drops. I was like, what the hell is going on?
That's what that is. Thank you for pointing that out. I was kind of at a loss of what was going on.
I know.
That's
Like, what the fuck?
You want me to set this upside down?
It has to, kind of.
All right, there you
Oh,
go.
the roadcaster.
No, the roadcaster will be fine. I've spilled on it before.
That's what I knew he was going to say that too. He spilled on it before.
It's
What
all
an
right.
asshole.
I'm fine with ruining my stuff. I have fucked it up before. It should be just as equally fucked up as it was last time, as it has been.
He has no care for any of his equipment. And like you just mentioned, he's probably just going to flip the bill right to you. Not you, but his audience. What an idiot, dude.
Roadcaster will be fine. Oh, you know what? Maybe that should be. Maybe that should be flipped over.
This is not cheap. What are you?
I can't flip it over. The cords are too tight. Don't unplug it.
Like, he's got a smirk on his face. He's entertained by her actually having concern.
Yeah, I know. And he's not even moving. He's not getting up to help. He's not doing any of the things that he should be doing as co-host of the show.
Oh, I actually just noticed his shirt. It's the St. Cloud Fight Club. I guess that's where he got his ass kicked in an amateur boxing match.
Yeah, and that's funny too. He's got the most punchable face for an amateur boxer.
A12 would like to punch April's voice.
She's squeaky.
no,
I
that's
mean,
bad.
I
That's not
don't
good.
got room to talk.
That's from the roadcaster filled up with water.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad news
Oh my
bears
god, Aaron.
for sure. It's not my fault. He showed it.
Yeah, this late into their marriage, very close to divorce, it probably has been quite a while since he's been physically touched by her, Tracy. Good point. If he moves, then April will stop physically touching him, something he hasn't felt in a while.
Exactly.
He showed a dick being cut
Show
open.
some self-control.
I'm trying.
Oh, dude,
No,
is that what they
no.
were watching? A
April,
trans surgery?
This shit is.
They just can't get off that. And it's funny how Carl Hamburger isn't trying to steer into the trans stuff, but during Gay Pride Month, he just kept steering into it, not on purpose.
You had no choice.
Good point, Cyborg. April is definitely Cokie McGee at this point, so that is another thing that might be putting her on edge.
Yeah, I think she's a little amped up.
I don't care.
You're just gonna have to set it down for now. I'm not gonna stop doing the fucking show because the roadcaster got wet.
Well, you know what? The show's gonna stop itself because the roadcaster's gonna show
The roadcaster is not gonna short out. It's going to be fine.
That is so fucked.
Thank you, Vidam. Thank you, Carlos Camejo. I appreciate that. 140 away from knocking out today.
And though my love is great.
Whoa. Okay. I will go ahead and mute that Nelly Furtado that Nat Flo is pointing for this last thing. April was off the show in the next month.
Yep.
Luckily, April had somewhere to run to after dealing with Aaron, the Chris Benoit fan. It was a cracked-in, sure, according to the police report, but at least she didn't have to fear any more beatings from Aaron.
Oh, gosh.
That is an upgrade. Cracked in, better than physical violence. So,
yeah, one thing you're doing to yourself, the other thing you're getting beat.
And one you get high off of.
Yeah, at least you're enjoying the time.
For some reason, that reminded me of Norm Macdonald talking about gambling addiction. And it's the only addiction where you could possibly get stinking filthy rich.
He makes a good point.
So we'll get to the clips of Keanu breaking down why she left next. But back to actually, I screenshotted this from Melton's show. I was having a hard time finding this on Reddit or the Kiwi Farms, but this was screenshotted directly from Melton's show, who, as mentioned earlier, he is the forefather of not just goofing on Aaron, but being like, this is a very, very bad man. He is the Poppy as Seinfeld. I believe I'm saying the right guy. Very, very bad man.
Yeah. He ran the restaurant. He got him deported. That's right.
You know what? This Dream Cafe, it's a great concept, but there are no Pakistani food places in New York.
None.
So onto the text messages. That Aaron was like, well, I need to put a stop to this. I need to put a bug in April's head to make Ashley the enemy and not myself. And it is funny. I think Ashley actually does have an injunction or something like that against Aaron from mentioning her name. So he has to talk around like saying Ashley's name. And he seems to be talking around saying April's name as of late. The way that Stern would say for serious, or talk around saying oral for a blowjob. The way that former radio had to talk around filthy words, he's got to talk around his two former wives.
Yeah, that's Douche got it. He keeps saying third party. There was a third party. Like, he won't say her name, but you know who she's talking about. There's 3 people involved: April, Ashley, and Aaron. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of language he uses. Really, we all know, and that's what makes it a problem for him, because there is no anonymity. Even if he doesn't use her name.
Yeah, not using her name, still explicitly referring to who it is. That seems like she might have a case on, like, he's still talking about me. He's not saying my name, but he is talking about me.
And that's exactly what we're going to find out here in August, because I think he has a hearing.
He used third party for 1 day. So Ashley must have been quick getting on that of like, motherfucker, you're still talking about me. You're not allowed to talk about me.
She has a brain, dude. She's the only one of the 3 that has a real brain in her head.
So here, before we get to the clip with Keanu, going over those text messages. Thank you, Milton, for finding these. I was having a hard time finding these. April says, I hope Balin, your new husband, treats you like you're in a perfect love story. I don't know what to do or how you got through, but I'm glad that a win for you. I must be the worst human alive.
Yeah, I'm glad that it's over for you. I must be the worst human alive.
I'm glad that it's over for you. Yeah, these are very brainy. I am having a little difficulty reading some of these. And Ashley, they started a sisterhood here. Please always keep this between us only. Sweetheart, what's wrong? I will always have your back. I promise you that you deserve nothing but the absolute best, because your heart is one of the kindest, most beautiful and loving ones that I've ever known. I wish your love story was everything you ever dreamed of, and it breaks my heart that... And it goes on, but we don't have that. April again, I have never seen someone behave with such malice and intent harm. I'm sobbing my way through Litchfield right now and couldn't help but think of you and how I hope you're in a good place. Please don't tell anyone I said any of this, but I wish I'd known more before it was too late.
See, she knew it then, and you could see it on her.
And that was
not always, but it was a brew. It was a brew. That's why the divorce clock went up like it did.
And this was apparently on Milton's show. A wise man once said on the Steel Toe Boring Show subreddit, asking if this is for real. It sounds like it is for real, of Ashley LaRue putting out, I believe, a tweet. Hello, family and friends. I am going to keep this post short. As you may already know, I am legally not allowed to say much about a third party. I just want to say thank you for the Texan support. Yes, it is true. I was a victim of domestic violence. And Aaron, before we get to that video, this did not help Aaron's case. This video, which was clipped, standard Karab 6937 again, has this very damning video of Aaron.
If April was a miserable cunt and I wanted her dead, I think at this point, especially with my dislike of women, I'd probably get more kick out of killing one than cheating.
I feel like I need to work on that paper.
The idea of fucking a stranger or caving a woman's head in with a shovel is really running neck and neck in my head these days.
I'm guessing that the day Aaron takes on an life insurance policy on me, like that's when I need to worry.
I
don't have one right now.
Finding a woman who thinks like, oh, I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad. And like, if someone said, all right, here's what you can do. You can put that woman on her knees. And you can take a barbed wire baseball bat and give her a terrifying speech like Negan and then smash her fucking head open like a pumpkin. Or you can have her suck your dick. I'd be like, watching her cry during that speech would be remarkably satisfying.
Dude, for me to hold my arms like this takes effort. Like, he's literally squeezing himself.
He does that so often.
Oh, ugh. Sorry.
And he's actually not just fantasizing of taking a woman's life with in a bludgeoning fashion, but her also being begging for her life beforehand. So that is a lot that he's just letting on loose right there.
That's what I mean. Like, he just doesn't. He thinks he's being facetious enough, but he's not. You can hear it in his voice that he means it. And he thinks we can't hear that.
It's in his voice and in his face. That's another thing of him being a bad actor.
Dead. I think at this point, especially with my dislike of women, I probably
just such an aside, especially with my dislike of women.
Get more kick out of killing one than cheating.
So that look aside, it was kind of like, that's right. You're here.
And cheating.
It's a joke.
Yep. He looks at her and then laughs.
He's done that a few times, as we've seen in this episode, of being like for real serious and then putting on it's joke.
She's scared right there, I think. Not scared, really, but like questioning if he's joking or not. Yeah. Concerned. Thank you.
Yeah, a little less. Take a step down from scared and get to concern. I think that's what she is right there. And it looks like I put the one from My Lost Interest, but Doom and Stallion, I believe, both have. I think Doom has a long version of this and a short version of this, if I remember correctly. So that was a bit uncomfortable. Let's get away from Aaron now. And usually I don't like doing this, of having a second generation react, but this is kind of necessary to have Keanu here reacting and then us reacting to that react. It's it's getting to a fucking odd place when I'm reacting to a react, which I like to stay away from, but this time I feel it is indeed necessary. And it would help if I didn't have the mute on. This is the most amateur I've been in a while. Welcome to
see what happens. Take a week off.
As you know, Gino Visconti, my betrothed, and I have been doing the Steel Toe Morning Show, filling in for, in the absence of his ex-wife. I just have some choice words and thoughts about the situation. So we're just going to go ahead and pull up a clip on it, okay? Aaron put us in a...
So, Slam Bag she has to know that her name is Slambag
Slam
by
piece.
now, and the trying to figure out what type of woman would go for him. It's an I can fix him type, and that might be what Slambag is. Just finding out that my code name is Slambag, just this quick out of a relationship. Anyone this quick out of a relationship, take a few months.
He ran right to another married woman right after the Nick Rekieta thing happened. He was hanging out with his neighbor's wife. I'm pretty.
We went over that a few episodes ago, where he was really into her. He was so into that married woman, and then luckily an unmarried Slambag came in the mix, so he isn't ruining yet another relationship. But just 3 months, at least 3 fucking months. Jerk off into a sock so you can find yourself. You fucking codependent twat.
He's so uncomfortable with himself. He can't be alone. He doesn't. There's something about him he hates, and I haven't figured it out yet. But he's like, there's an internal dissatisfaction with himself as a man. I don't know what specifically is getting him at. But also, one quick correction. I think he says slam piece.
Slam piece.
Yes. Slam bag is better, though. That just makes her sound like a big fat lump of laundry.
It's a similar name, and I like calling her Slambag now.
Yeah, I think that's much more fun.
They're both equally disrespectful.
Exactly.
Slambag and Slam Piece. I guess Slambag is slightly more disrespectful than Piece. I don't know. Maybe that's from person to person. If you would find Slambag or Slam Piece to be the more disrespectful, but either way, finding out that that's my nickname. Actually, you're starting to remind me of when Shuli started realizing he was turning more into John every day when his camera kept falling down too.
Dude, it's so hot in my room that it's not. I had it set up a certain way.
Do you have a suction piece on it? Is that why it keeps falling down?
Tape. It's in one of those phone holders.
You're Opie.
I am Opie.
You've got the Opie method of putting it up there with tape, whereas I have the super
now I'm gonna do
method of just using my laptop camera.
Here we go. Now I'm going to be Jake Hudson for the rest of the show, right here.
Oh, same like some of those people in the slow adult speed dating. You've got that camera view going on.
Well, and that's the thing. My camera is in a different spot today. It's usually over here, right in front of me, and I put it so I got monitor 1, monitor 2, and then the camera, so it's more eye level, and of course you change one thing, and Annie, if you're listening, you know this from yesterday. You change one damn thing, the whole set of dominoes comes falling down.
Oh yes, Annie has been streaming Prey. I've been wanting this to be an experience for me, so this is brand new to me. I haven't been checking out her streams, and I'm way behind on Prey, and I do enjoy it a whole bunch. But
it's a fun game.
Yeah, I haven't been tuning in because those would be spoilers for me of what's coming up on Prey, which we are going to talk about soon on What Is This Game with Annie and Spurg Snake joining us.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It gives me a lot of cool vibes. I heard you say you were in the lobby, and I think that's where I'm at right now. I just made it to I'm getting right through the first part of the lobby.
Okay, we're both pretty close to the beginning. We haven't gotten far at all this point.
Right, I got about 2.5 hours into it, and I was playing late at night.
Same here, like 2.5 hours. Yeah, Mr. Blue Sky. At least Kumia loves this guy, right? Right?
No, Kumia does not love this guy.
Yeah, Kumia did allow him on his show, but I saw some of those tweets as well of Kumia denouncing Aaron as well. Even
that's right.
Even the vampire. I love that.
How Kumia said, "Fuck this guy." Pardon my language, but that's what he said.
Red Bar has not let that vampire handbiter thing go.
That's what you were talking about, Danny, earlier. That's who he bit, right?
Yes. Yeah. That was the big the worst public mark that Anthony has had against him was that confrontation with Danny Brand.
Dude, good times. That subreddit was so crazy.
Oh, the Opie and Anthony subreddit. Yeah, that was something I was never a part of, but I heard a lot of secondhand craziness from that subreddit.
Yeah, that's it back to Patrice. I started watching a lot of stand-up when I went through my divorce because I was like, I'm getting back to what I like. And so I was watching Patrice and Colin Quinn and old Tough Crowd reruns. And then I saw, then that Weston 4020 channel showed up, and it was all of the episodes with Patrice O'Neill. And I just chewed right through those. And then, every other episode of Opie and Anthony I could get my hands on. And then I found the subreddit, and it's if Aaron thinks that these Kiwi Farm people or subreddit Steel Toe Boring Show subreddit are bad, he has no idea. Slam Sliz, I love corn diff. But I got PTSD from Reddit from what I saw. Dude, they were going after his mom. They were going after his brother. His brother Joe ended up on Judge Judy because trolls were canceling his gigs.
Oh, the re-upload of Anthony Cumia's Twisted World. I don't believe the Brother Joe episode was ever re-uploaded by the person, and I loved that Brother Joe episode.
Man, and they had those shirts with that fucking half swastika on it, dude. What the fuck? Edgy boys.
A very, 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 very sticky situation. That's not really what a friend does. Him asking us to fill in for her while all of that was going on, I think was a bit of a... he got right to us, like, oh, we're getting a divorce, and she's on this, and da-da-da-da-da. And we were like, anything you need, buddy, okay? So we
come on publicly and support me. Get on my show. Help me both because I need a body, and it'll look like you're on my side.
Yeah. Yep. And that's exactly what he did. He ran right to them. I need you to come co-host. April's gone. Hurry, help me. And they did. But then I think Kiwi. I think Kiki was talking to April through text, and she knows. Keanu knows what's up. But I don't know if she thinks it's all true or not. I'm not sure. But they all are distancing themselves from Aaron now. Everybody's putting distance between them and him.
So we did the show for many months. It was always supposed to be temporary. But the way that he is framing it now is it's not quite right. And the things that have come out that I will tell you whether or not the Viscontis believe or not is...
Gotta say, I think I prefer April's voice over Kiki's voice. I find Squeaky April more tolerable than Squeaky Kiki.
Squeaky Kiki, I love it. Rock bag. Come on,
quite
Mr. Blue Sky.
untoward. So let's just play it, and then I will explain. So here we go.
Yep. Once a week, once every other week, I'll just go, hey man, I hope you're hanging in there, okay, blah blah blah, and I'll get a text back. And
he's talking about Bisconti.
Bum the guy out. Sometimes I'll just text.
He's talking, if you don't know, obviously, he's talking about Bisconti. He's going like, oh, I don't want to bother him during the merger. I don't want to bother him during this merger that's going on. False, okay?
That mocking voice that she's putting on, she's not just trying to do an impersonation. She's just like, that's like I've had enough of this fucking guy. And I would like to point out, it's apparently hot at Kiki's house, and having a fan blowing her hair in the wind is helping her sexiness.
Yeah, I noticed that last night. I was like, oh, that's nice. I also noticed that I think her head might be a little too big for her shoulders, but that could be the camera. And here I am slunching over.
Another thing to put in the a little too Dylan Mulvaney-ish for the head being too big. Actually, it would be the other way around for Dylan Mulvaney, wouldn't it? Of the shoulder,
more of a triangle shoulder. Yeah, that triangle dude thing that happens.
She's no Sue Lightning.
That's true.
We just weren't answering you. We saw some weird shit come out. It wasn't that I was on vacation. I still streamed with John DiCaprio. It wasn't that I was on vacation. It wasn't any of that. We just didn't know what to think, and we wanted to just wait a second before we responded to you. It has nothing to do with the merger, which you know nothing about. So there we go. Anyway, we'll continue on.
She makes a very solid point right here.
Because I'm like,
she made a good point. You know, we're just waiting to hear both sides. Two of our friends are fighting, and we're not jumping the gun to either one. But so the way it adds up in my head is like, Aaron paid Gino and Kiki $4,000 to come out and do last year's anniversary show, and they've been friends ever since. And I think that that Gino was trying to get away from Aaron for a while now, because Aaron just wants to get to Kumiya that bad that he thought he was going to get to Gino.
And Gino definitely been a Kumiya hanger-oner for years now. So that is where's a link to Kumiya? Where is a link to Kumiya?
Yep.
Gino, you can get me back on Compound Censored. And when E-Rock was talking on Who Are These Podcasts recently, I didn't realize that Aaron actually had multiple appearances over there on Compound. I guess it was more of a fill-in, more of a special guest mic instead of a pilot episode like I initially thought. But Aaron gave him multiple shots. I thought it was just a shot.
Yeah, no, E-Rock likes Steel Toe. I don't know why. I think he just likes it because it's old. Like Aaron is trying to do old radio, and he sees the Kumiya clone out of him. And
the radio connection, he came up in radio, so E-Rock, it makes sense that he would have a soft spot for other radio guys and would want to help them around the rough edges and get through their troubled times.
Right, and that's how much sway Aaron carried even at Compound. Like even the guys that liked Kumiya and would give Aaron a chance, he fumbled it. He was doing stories that were already 2 years old on Compound Media.
Like, I don't want to bother Gino with this right now. Keanu and Gino were always temporary here.
Okay.
Yeah. Keanu and Gino were never.
All right. So Bisconti was talking to me just now. He was just trying to fill me in. It was like we got a live update, right? Saying that Aaron's talking about this right now. It doesn't care if we throw him out of the wedding. Okay. Because Aaron, I believe in this clip, he does say that he doesn't want to be a distraction because he's such a big star. You know, what a big star you are.
I love when she gets the mocking voice on her.
Yeah, she's really she's laying it on.
I was on morning radio in market 137. 137. Big star.
That's right.
I don't know what market St. Cloud is, but 137 sounds like I'm in the neighborhood.
Right.
Action. Because he's such a big star. You know, what a big star you are, Aaron. What a big star. Okay. Anyway, we'll continue.
Good point, Ellie Drew. Gino is always talking. Keanu's going to have to shut her show down quite often if she's going to listen to Gino every time he blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, he did that in this episode too. He walks in on Keanu and she yells at him. She's like, "Get out, you're ruining my thing." But they were drinking Jameson last night.
Jameson, all right. I think it's overrated. I'm a bigger fan of Telemardu.
All right, here we go.
We're in the full-time, long-term plans of Steel Toe for one main reason. I couldn't afford to let them keep coming here, and then I couldn't offer.
You couldn't afford it. We were trying to be nice to you. You could not afford it. What about the weeks where you didn't pay us? How about those weeks? And then as soon as we kind of stop answering, ching! Oh, here's $100 for last week. I'm like, what about this week? This week. Thanks for the $30 on this week. All right. Doesn't matter. As friends, we would have done it for free.
So they had an agreement for money, and Aaron was not always on time with that cash. Aaron, not good with $1. I don't know if we're going to get to the clip today of him saying he's not good with $1. So pretty much telling you this money I'm begging for every day, some of it is just burned.
Yeah, I didn't hear him say that he admitted to blowing cash the way he does, but he can't
I don't know if
control
we'll get to the
himself.
clip today. It was in the queue somewhere, but we've jumped around because we got to. It happens every week. I'm like, all right, we're going to get to them in this order. Oh, we're talking about this. Well, fuck it. Get into that clip at that point later. We'll get to it now while we're talking about it.
I'm sorry, that's me. I'm all over the place.
It's just how the conversation flows. So
That too.
Yeah, not keeping being able to flex with what's going on instead of like, no, what you're talking about, shut up.
Yeah, don't. That's Opie. You can make fun of me for technical failures, but I don't do that. I'm not that rigid. And hello, G-Rob. I haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah, glad to see you, G. Rob. We have, of course, everyone can't make it every day, and
Right.
Miss Anya, G. Rob, Luigi Greenberg had a nice Goldberg streak going, but he's been a little busy. Has missed a few streams here and there, and I'm sorry I missed you this morning. Between last night, him plugging the show over on Trainwreck TV, and this morning the time got moved up to earlier, and as soon as I tuned in, it was like, yeah, this show's over. So. I'm about 30 minutes into his appearance with Helga and Lisa.
Okay.
So, and we were like, yeah, buddy, anything you need. Me and Gino immediately, not that we already weren't, we were texting April. We didn't really hear from her, but of course she doesn't want to, text back to somebody that's involved with him. And I get that. I completely understand.
Well, then the compound sensor thing comes.
Okay.
Then these
again. So he thinks that has something.
That big sigh. He's talking about the shit he has no idea about again. And he is such the stuttering John of drop the needle anywhere, even when Kiki's doing it. We've got a nice.
yeah. Anytime you stop it, he's a good freeze frame. He's so animated.
Oh, and the hugging position again. He hugs himself a whole lot.
Especially recently, like it's just almost nonstop. Every time he has to tell a story, he gets defensive.
Something to do with it. Nice freeze frame. He has no fucking idea what's going on.
Yeah, give yourself some points for dropping the roulette wheel on that one. You got to win on that one.
This man, for some reason, thinks that he's a part of it. He was texting us. The only thing, texts went ignored. And then finally I went, he was going, is it a merger? Is it this? Is it that? Because he wants something to talk about on his fucking show.
Horse shit allegations about me, which I can't say loud enough. Lies, incorrect. Mm-hmm. But it's 2.5 years ago.
Okay, that's another thing. Horse shit allegations. The allegations are really fucking disturbing. And I would be full of fucking shit if I said that I didn't, if it's not exactly that, something fucking happened. You're painting it and as like Nick is this manipulative abuser. Yes. And I actually agree with that. Meanwhile, all that happened. And then he goes on to say, oh, it was 2 years ago. This all came out 2 years ago. What fucking difference does that make, man? When it was the Kevin Brown.
I did some things 2 years ago. You know, every New Year's Day, you become a brand new person. That was 3 errands ago, that person who did these things.
And he keeps saying 2.5, but it's just now 2. He keeps trying to add time to it. We saw that it said in the text from May till August. It's not even August 2024 yet.
August 2022 here in this text when
so it's
April and Ashley were going back and forth of the abuse she was going through.
Right. And that's so we're just now on 2 years. This starting from May was 2 years.
Brennan podcast or whatever, when the mug shots or what have you came out.
It's really not.
And we were just like, he's enjoying this a little bit too much, don't you think? That's not how you would react to somebody that you gave a fuck about. That was your wife. The worst evil is culty narcissist. Okay, that's the worst evil. So whatever. We're still trying to be a friend to him. We didn't know about any of this. We're still trying to be a friend to him. And we're gonna.
Oh, and another amateur aspect that I'm just noticing with Keanu having here, when I have a second person on, I like to keep the names up. I've done amateured this episode up so much. Thank you, Aaron, for rubbing off on me and not getting it in my eyes. That's
At least
all
not
I can
getting it
add
in them.
of you rubbing off your ropey load on me.
We're gonna do his show. And you know, but something about Aaron, like, we know he's unfunny. We know that, like,
You saw at the top of the episode me back and forth with him on the.
Oh my
I was no
gosh.
better, but
That's too good. Oh, Aaron is man. I don't know what's going to happen to him.
well, there's one thing that should happen to him.
Just take the loss, Mr. Tollman.
That's yes. It's over, dude. That's why I'm saying. That's why I brought it up. What would it take to get him for full rebrand? You want to get away from all of this shit, Aaron? Throw it all out. Just go do that thing like on the movies. Just go whoosh and get rid of the whole set. Just dump it and start over. Don't just
go
rename
away.
the channel.
Real job. Be a salesman at Unpainted Arizona for a little while, and then creep back in without a goal. All right, guys, I enjoyed doing this. I went away and worked on myself. I've said that before. The biggest thing to make himself, well, not the biggest thing, a big thing, get a job and do this part time. This is your hobby. This is my hobby, and begging. And the Pod Awful interview where he was giving him tips. People have pointed out that he has taken like absolutely none of the tips, even centering himself behind the SS Minnow steel toe of his. He kept that going for like a week before he's like, nah, forget what Pod Awful said. I really like my SS Minnow cast iron steel toe in the background. People need to see that.
Yeah, that's like he thinks it's top-notch branding, and it's not.
Jesse Lee Peterson told Aaron, your wife hates you because you're weak. And he showed her, you think I'm weak? How weak is someone who can do this? Can't breathe now, can you? Call me weak.
I also think that, like, they keep saying headbutt. I don't necessarily think it was like a straightforward headbutt. I think he was like driving his forehead into her head, like, you better, squeezing her and like pushing down.
Kind of like getting more into her face. Yeah. Because the headbutt being more of an aggressive, getting right in her fucking face to really hammer home whatever the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, right. Doing that right there. That's how I imagine it. True or not, because there was like no bruises on her forehead or anything, or her nose is never, because it wasn't like he went wham and knocked her the fuck out. I just think he was putting the squeeze on her.
Which show? And but something about Aaron, like,
huh? Oh,
we know he's unfunny. We know that, like, he has like zero self-awareness, but something about a dweeb with zero self-awareness is endearing. Okay, and then it starts to trickle in where you're
Let me drop that again. Oh, not that. The video clip of the tow truck driver.
Just take the loss, Mr. Tollman.
A dweeb with no self-awareness. She's been well aware of what this guy is the entire time, and he thought that they were hanging out with him because he's cool, not because they point and laugh at him.
That's exactly right. That spot on. A dweeb with zero self-awareness. That's exactly what that guy is. He has no idea what's going on around. He thinks he's king shit because small town little pond treated him well. And the internet did not.
where you're just like, okay, he's enjoying this too much. We can't do this for much longer. I didn't in my wildest dreams think something like this would come out. But again, he kind of call us too nice, but we were a little bit manipulated. And but we definitely saw the signs, didn't see the signs of that. But he knew this the whole time.
She opened up her eyes and she saw the sign. To get to another Opie and Anthony reference there. That's kind of a deep cut. And to other people, that's right there on the top of, I saw the sign.
The David and Bobo show was great. If you guys haven't watched it, listen to that. Yeah.
Intern David thought he was big shit and kept trying to big time Bobo, and they are just so on equal levels.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like they don't realize, because I think Bobo didn't like David very much after a while, and that was pretty good dynamic.
Aaron, good theory, Mr. Blue Sky. The head mushing and head bashing gave him a brain injury and took away his funny and charmingness. He killed those brain cells, and that person doesn't exist anymore.
Time. It's lie after lie after lie. For example, okay, the day before, I remember the arrest happened, right? He calls me and says, so I have to tell you something. Me and Kay.
And actually, what a bad idea of headbutting Megamind. What a poorly thought out decision that was of going head to head with Megamind. And we can also theorize that's why she's got the 5 head. He mushed his head until she started balding a little bit and got rid of her forehead, making it a 5.
It was like I don't know how else to say it, but like an Indian burn, but on their foreheads. Like how that rub burn that you can do on.
I wonder what the kids call an Indian burn, because it's crisscross applesauce now instead of Indian style. Right. I wonder what the kids call an Indian burn now, because it's still a thing to do, but how dare you call it Indian burn? I have no Zoomer listeners. They can't inform me what an Indian burn is now called.
Featherhead.
Right?
Still offensive, but they're kind of like John saying dotard. No, it's dotard. I was calling him a dotard, not a dotard. And I'm kind of on the fence if he read dotard. I tend to believe the other version of Stuttering John calling him the dotard and then being able to come up with an excuse after the fact of no, I'm not calling him a tard. He's a dotard. It's a word.
Yeah, that's what I would hope he had happened, but no, I don't. And who used that word first, I forget. But yeah, I like it pronounced dotard instead of dotard. Because it makes you sound retarded.
He calls me and says, so I have to tell you something. Me and Kayla hooked up a couple of times. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, whatever.
Even as he's like, I'm coming clean with you. I stepped outside of the marriage. He can't be true and say we were swingers, which I might get into this on an upcoming lunchbox of the difference between swingers and polyamorous folks. Swingers just fuck, But if you're just swinging with one couple, it's a
That's-
little more difficult for feelings to not happen. When you go to a key party, yeah, it's luck of the draw. We are fucking. But
Right.
if you're just swinging with a single couple, that's yeah, you're starting to merge over into the multiple relationship, multiple love, polyamorous rather than just swinging. And Aaron it's so funny that he's just can't be honest. Even when he's talking about stepping outside his marriage, he can't be honest and said we both stepped outside. We were swingers.
Yeah, right. And I agree with that. He has a hard time. He lies about little shit like that, and that's what got Kayla mad. He said he was reading the Proverbs book. Like, he said that to make her feel better. Like, he lied to her to make her feel better. And then that only in turn made her more upset. They're a 4-person polycule, and they were supposed to have 100% trust between all 4 of them, and he's the first one to start being toxic, so to speak, by doing little shit like that. If you're lying about you reading a book, what else are you lying about? And he is almost as habitual a liar as Stuttering John.
I'm a little bit behind on the chat. And Ellie Drew talking about Patrice meeting intern David. I think that's who Patrice took to the Jack Shack masseuse shop, monsieur, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember offhand, but it sounds like something he would do. And I remember him meeting Bobo for the first time. They were playing the Wiener game with Bobo.
The up-down.
Yes.
I recall that very first time as well of the up-down game. How quickly talking about ladies and then the Mets
baseball. Yeah. Yeah, it was just like that too. It was so funny. And no, everybody in the studio was dying. You cannot, it's so infectious.
Are Nick and I guess everybody's been saying that you guys were swinging. Like, okay, why did you? And then he goes, I said, are April and Nick hooking up? He's like, not to my knowledge, no. I never saw anything like that. It only happened a couple of times with me and Kayla. All right. Cut to.
It only happened a couple of times, just like his coke usage. Yep, totally believe you, Aaron.
Half a dozen times, he says.
Yeah, when we were talking about how it went down, of how he got kicked out of the polycule, of that's when he went straight. We don't know. He's so untruthful. There might be some truth into him just being the square and like, guys, we can't do drugs and have gangbangs. That's not right. There might be some truth to that. Or the way that I was thinking of it last time we spoke about this, of him getting kicked out of the polycule and then making up that story of, I saw what was wrong and what we were doing was wrong.
I think they know. I think Kayla, Nick, and Avril have the same perspective on Aaron that Kiki has on him right now. He's a dorky dweeb. They tried to make him a cool kid, and he just couldn't handle it. He can't handle smoking weed, apparently. And I don't fault anybody who has a negative reaction to it, but then jump to coke and Molly and possibly ketamine too. Come on, man. And I guess he wouldn't do lines either. I think they said he was parachuting, which I don't know how well that works.
They did She's All That with Aaron, trying to turn him into the cool kid and get the wider audience to like him.
Freddie Prinze Jr., right?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds right. Freddie Prinze, and I forget who that geeky girl. I remember the parody. I think it was Nikki Cox in the Not Another Teen Movie parody, but she's got a ponytail and glasses.
Exactly. And that's exactly what that was. It was literally just glasses and like overalls and a ponytail. Take her hair down, take the glasses off. She was, fucking supermodel. It was a good movie, though. I watched it.
On fucking Kino Casino going, we were full, we were wife swapping and da-da-da-da-da. Like, why even lie to me about that? It's just something always comes out. There's no trusting him. There's no fucking trusting him. I thought he's just a dweeb.
But he's
I
an
love her.
evil dweeb.
Right,
Two
right.
joints. Fobs are the new variation of key parties. I'm still old school. I still have my keys. So yeah, I'll be the one that when they pick out my keys, oh, it's not a fob. Well, they should be able to feel with their hands. That's not a fob. That's a key. No, I don't want that loser who doesn't have a fob. He has a key. Ugh.
He's driving a Toyota from 1980.
Kind of likable dweeb. So now I'm getting it. And sorry. Sorry. And I'm never going to read anything that April has sent to me. And she does not want to be talked about publicly. But I did hear from her, and I will never, ever read those to you. Just happy to hear from my friend. And from those messages, I gathered, okay. Yeah. This ain't a fucking joke. The first time before we went to Minnesota,
neither was that back and forth with the kid on coke. That wasn't a joke either. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, big swing, big miss.
the first time I was watching some stuff about him, or I was watching his show, I'm like, I don't think this guy likes women. I don't think April had like a lot of friends.
And actually, we just went through that clip where he said he does not like women. This is a woman hater who's not a homosexual. So that is the type of dom you do not want to have, ladies. That is someone who, when you say yellow and red, he needs to get a few more licks in because he is legitimately a sadist against women.
Dude, he is. He's borderline closeted, I think, because he hates women so much. It's weird. It's one of those things that he hates them so publicly that you would think that women would stay away from him. But apparently not everybody listens to the toe. So he can get away with anonymity.
Douche of the Devilverse, pointing out that Aaron's testimony is the only fact we have of them actually swinging. But the theory I had of them developing that we need to swing to get April, we just want April. Kayla, take one for the team. Take one for the team. So I do believe that part of this liar story is that he got Kayla because he got worked. They made him think that it was his idea or that he was in on the dawning of that idea of swinging. But her going over to the Ricada's house to hunt, that was really the birth of the swinging because, all right, let's make this official. I think they're still religious. I know they were religious, the Ricadas. Well, yeah, they go to church. That's how they done got called out for the child neglect was the churchy folk and the priest. That was in conjunction with Aaron tattling on him is what got that warrant out there.
Yes, exactly. And that's what when I heard that a warrant was served, I knew there was more than one. They can't just go on one call like that. Aaron can't just call up and be like, hey, man, there's abuse going on over here. And the cops run right over. They need multiple sources to say so. And from what I understand, Nick sends his kids to the two older ones go to school at the church. So it was bound to be seen at some point. The way he paints himself like he was, I got out. Dude, he let that shit go on for 2 months after he quit. It was still that all that neglect was still going on. And so he's no better than either one of those three in that regard. And I think I said earlier, I don't think he got it from Kayla. I think they just snuggled. I think he just kept him in the other room while Nick got to do whatever he wanted to do. Maybe
like she put on a rubber glove. Maybe she gave him what's it called, the Dutch rudder, where all right, you grab your cock and I'll move your wrist. So I wonder how long she tried to get away with doing that before she actually had to touch it with a rubber glove. Look, I am just really into disease. I know that Nick is raw dogging April, but that's Nick and I'm me. So let me put on this like a giant foam hand. She got one of those sports foam hands, as many layers as she possibly could to actually touch him.
Yeah, that's what I imagine. And B Smiley explained that to Deitwa. Thank you, Mr. B Smiley.
Good. I was going to say someone probably got to that. I'm still about 5 minutes behind on the chats. So thanks for filling in sweet innocent Deitwa on parachuting.
Yeah.
Probably because maybe he wasn't allowing her to have a lot of friends. Who knows? I don't know. We're trying to be friends with the both of them. And then now this. And I'm not saying it's true. No one knows if it's true. But in my brain,
It's twoo. It's twoo.
Ooh.
Sorry, Toe. Where there's smoke, there's fire. So a very nice, whatever, very long message from a dear friend of mine. That's all I'm going to say. I will read the rest of it later but what I just skimmed, I'm not. And I will never read.
So the story that Aaron tells is that Nick was kind of into watching, and even just Nick watching, he was against. But Douche of the Dabbleverse believes there was some tip touching, and that is something that it's like, yeah, it does seem cool in theory to put both your dicks in her mouth at the same time and get that disrespectful thing going, which once again goes to Aaron's woman hating of wanting both their dicks in her mouth to really disrespect her. But in practice, no, that is beyond ball touching, and I would have to pass on that one myself.
Yeah, I agree. There's especially with I'm cool on not touching the bags either.
The incidental touching, I couldn't do either. That's something that's a bit beyond me. Maybe if I had been to more than one gangbang in my life and actually participated, or maybe if that one, there wasn't that super drunk girl who then a whole bunch of the women needed to babysit because this was a responsible gangbang. You cannot make decisions for yourself. You are way too drunk. Maybe if the numbers weren't all fucked, eventually I would have gotten into it, but nope. When I went out with the kinky nanny, it was only one gangbang that we went to, and she just did coke in the bathroom in the back room with the people running it, and go have fun, go gangbang if you would like. And
that's cool.
As I mentioned on a recent episode, if you do go to a group sex party, just observe your first time. It's a bit much to the senses. As much as you may or may not have seen some gangbang on the internet, the sights, sounds, and smells in person is different. And observe the first time. Go to observe the first time.
I think I mentioned before, I'm not sure, but I'll do it again. There's a club here on the west side of Cleveland, and they usually host what's called the Organ Grinders Ball, and it's kind of sort of turned into a blood drive. Also, like you can go donate blood for Red Cross, but man, it's like a public. It's not a gangbang or there's no penetration, but there's a lot of nudity and different things to do. Like somebody at Hackamania, there was supposed to be a bull riding penis, and so they have shit like that there, and like trapeze, like low, so you can swing and see girls' skirts and stuff. It's pretty fun, but it's not as degenerate as when it first started. You know, like the first one will be all bets are off, but by the fifth one, they finally got how to streamline the party. You know.
I think it's more than that, King of all diffs. I do believe it's an inherent dislike of women that Aaron has. I think it's beyond just what the 2024 woman is. I think a woman of 1950 or 1823, Aaron would have the same disdain for if he got in a DeLorean and went back then. I think it's deeply rooted in him. And I wish he would talk about his childhood, mentioning all we know of Anthony Cumia and Howard Stern's childhood. Aaron says, this show is my life. I've got to talk about it. Well, what about all this weird childhood shit that made you the person who you are, who we understand with Stern and Cumia, why they're the weird person they are, and they absolutely dish it out. We know nothing of Steel Toe other than his current slam piece, slam bag, and what is going on currently.
Yeah, that's awful. Oh,
Read her messages ever, but I'm just happy to hear from her. It's all I wanted, and I've already apologized to her for even, being a part of any of this. But we were trying to do what we trying to help somebody that we thought was a friend, and we didn't know, and I think she understands that. So this is really fun. Let's make fun of the allegations.
Another one that she hit the roulette wheel perfectly on that drop the needle.
Look at that. Man, dude, he's very uncomfortable in his own body. He must watch himself back a lot and see these. That's a great reference, Mr. Corndiff. He's a whoa, man.
Whoa. Even more than Joey from Blossom. Whoa.
Oh, man, what happened to that kid? Did you ever see So I Married an Axe Murderer?
I vaguely remember So I Married an Axe Murderer. I saw it once back in the 90s.
Mike Myers does slam poetry, and he goes, woman, whoa, man. Like, in the snappy finger bass kind of hipster beatnik poetry. It was...
I do know what happened to Cody from Step by Step. Are you aware of that one?
No, what happened? That's the young kid,
he's a woman beater. Him and Aaron would get along very well. He was, I believe he got put away for a little while. He was the star of Bloodsport 2 in a straight-to-VHS movie sequel to the Jean-Claude Van Damme classic. And it's funny looking back how they wanted to have a stoner cousin living in the driveway.
Oh, that guy, yeah, that's right. He lived in the van.
But we couldn't have a stoner on TGIF, so he likes ice cream headaches.
If you guys have time in the chat, go back and look up the dyslexic episode of Step by Step. What a great show.
And I think Suzanne Summers was hotter in Step by Step than she was in Three's Company. She looked even hotter as she was aging.
Yeah, I agree. That was Thigh Master Suzanne Summers. She was looking really great in her late 30s, 40s.
Let's make fun of the allegations. This came off looking great.
If I really thought that those two thought I was hi-ya.
Very funny.
No.
Oh wow. He's like so fucking uncomfortable. Like, get me out of here. Matt, someone save you.
Yes, I know. I think Matt's gone. I think he's not going to be doing as many shows or zero shows with the Moob anymore. And one more thing.
Shows without him will be very similar with him there. You just need the KBBL buttons. Yes, Aaron. Boy, yeah. Aaron, what a bunch of clowns.
Do you still got that drop where he puts the tape in and hits the button? He's like, oh, and the gunshot goes. They're getting closer all the time. Like he's doing that the overhyped radio DJ thing. I love that. That's such a good movie.
Harry Shearer from Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the ahas. I was once again, as I say, I want to clear out some of these drops, but I love them all. And this one, it's been a while since I dropped, but when a host is just going on about nothing, this is a good one.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, work is hard. Mm-hmm. What? Oh, they're getting closer all the time. All right.
That's so great.
And as I want to take some of these drops off so I can hit some of the ones more often. What am I going to take this off?
You think this is bad? This chicanery? He's done worse.
No, I can't get rid of that or this.
What a sick joke.
That's a great one. You can have that one on just audio. Too good. Yeah, you do. You pick some good drops.
Yeah, and I don't go to them as often. That's something like I mentioned. If I were able to get a producer in here, that I would. I think I've gotten used to communicating with the chat. Today, usually on the St. Cloud Moron shows, the chat is more active than other days, and I have difficulty keeping up with them. But I think I would have the producer on the drops, and I would be on the chat. It would be one or the other, where I have the producer in the background being either on the drops or on the chat. And yeah, I think I would have the producer. You'll get better as you go along, but sometimes you just need this.
You're a freak with a microphone.
Yeah,
I got those great characters.
I got some good drops, but it's been much more difficult as I'm trying to balance both the chat and the drops.
I understand. We'll set up some time to talk because I think I can. I want to try to learn how to do that. I mean, if fucking Phil Russo can do it,
like the Roadcaster or even, is that what Carl has? Whatever they have at WATP, like on StreamYard, it's just extremely easy. It's just a press of a button that you're in here in the studio, and I wish that I could pay someone to do some producer type shit, but nope, I'm not getting over my head like Aaron did of like, all right, we're launching this show on the internet and people give us money so I can pay for it.
Right. No, and that's the thing. I can't ask these guys for money. Like the chat that's going on. We know all these guys for the most part, and I feel that would be awful. So
I am getting close to asking for money though. We're and thank you, beloved chatter, earlier for mentioning the buy me a coffee and the other thing. I'm still I'm about to turn that switch where I start asking you to go to those things, and still in phase 1 of building up. And I'm going to do my best not to throw the hat out, just to mention that they're there. Not
right. That's another thing. He
here.
has not stopped that. You can watch his hands. He hits like Windows V paste. Like he does the keyboard shortcut to paste the link in his chat, and it's every 15 minutes. He's just mentioning PayPal, StreamYard, Streamlabs, Venmo, blah blah blah.
And I would like have it scrolling here at the bottom. And currently, it's a joke where actually a Stuttering John references where donations from beloved chatters accepted through third and fourth parties.
Exactly.
When I do my show segment, but I would have it down there where it's there. I don't think I would have it during the whole show. Maybe several minutes at a time. So I'm doing the show, and then hey guy.
Right. We're coming up on 2 hours. If you hit it halfway through, all right, we're getting into tech talk. Stop there.
If I really thought that those two thought I was hi-ya!
Oh wow.
But actually, Tracy, I missed this a little bit ago, talking of TGIF before we get back to movie here. She liked JT. I liked Al. The daughter Al, I like the most. Not Suzanne Summers' daughters, but Frank's daughter, one daughter. I thought
the tomboy.
She was the hottest.
Yeah, she was like a tomboy, right? Like she would be wearing flannel and baseball hats and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And My Two Dads blonde was one of the daughters, and the brunette, I saw her using a Groupon at a diner. So times were not as kind to her as they have been to other actors.
Yeah, no kidding. Especially when you're like in that spot between your teens and early 20s. It's like if you get a job then, you got to either keep working or make a lot of money doing a few things.
And after being on a show like that, stepping back down and being like, oh, I need a side gig and I need to go back. Like, that's a hard pill to swallow, which most people need to in Hollywood. That you've hit the lottery being on a show. And that good luck having it happen again. Like the My Two Dads girl getting it twice before she was 18.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And I remember My Two Dads. That was a cool show. Very late 80s, early 90s, I think. And somebody needs to take that advice you just gave, and his name's Michael Ray Bauer. He's not an actor anymore. cash in the SAG
Oh.
card, and be done with it. You're a
Y-
guy.
yeah,
You're just a guy now.
That's the thing. It's been about a year since I did my first Donkey Lips episode, and I really felt bad for the guy. He should like work at a disc golf shop in Henderson, Nevada. He shouldn't be chasing that acting thing, and he's like selling his scripts, and they're not even scripts from Salute Your Shorts. It's just one of the things he likes to collect, like $1 a piece. I buy these
Right.
Hollywood stills when I go out and buy them, but like that's one of the memorabilia he likes to collect, and he's just selling off his collection. And I think someone said that he's in Reseda. I was theorizing that he was at Gramercy and Franklin in Hollywood. That's certainly where his shitty apartment made me think he was. But wherever he is, oh man, yeah, please, please, Donkey Lips, he's such a little boy. There's a guy at work who's such a 14-year-old. And I want him fired, but he's so pathetic. It's like, the poor kid.
Yeah, I know. And your place of business is the burden that has to deal with them. 2 things from Michael Ray Bauer. Not an actor, and he needs a friend. He needs a real friend to get his ass up off that couch and go do shit.
Those two thought I was hi-ya.
Oh wow. He's like so fucking uncomfortable. Like, get me out of here. Matt, someone save you. Ugh. Ugh. Hilarious.
If I
yeah,
I
okay.
really had an inkling that those two thought I did that, I would decimate them on this program.
Decimate. Excuse me, I used the wrong word. Decimate them. Okay, what are you gonna do to us, homie? I want.
Once again, just dropping his desires to beat a woman, and he would enjoy that much more than beating Gino. Like Gino, it's just like I've got to do this, but with actually decimating Kiki, there, he would do it with a smile on his face.
Yes, that's his problem. I think he would enjoy it for real, even though he is trying to say that's a passing joke. He makes that joke too much for it to remain a joke. Much like Kumiya with his dating younger women, it started out as a joke. Turns out it was a real problem.
But yeah, that's something that was legit. It was both a joke and legit.
Right, and I think that's where we're going with Aaron. Turns out he's going to be a murderer.
Wanted April in my wedding. Gino was like, would have never asked you, but I said, let's have them both. Okay? Which is why the card literally said, why don't you hang by me? All right? That actually literally breaks my heart to say. But I think at some point you deserve it, homie. It breaks my heart to say that. I'm like, I want April. We can't just have Aaron. Whatever. All right. I don't like what I'm hearing. I don't like any of the stuff that I've, any of the pain and turmoil you've put us all through. Okay.
She is exasperated in those eyes, just trying to be a friend and filling in for April, and still, yeah, she stuck through it with him when he was going way overboard, and definitely regretting that now.
Yeah. They were in a bad position. As much as I could care less about Kiki and Gino, that's not where you want to be, especially since you committed to inviting them to a wedding.
Which it sounds like they're on the fence of rescinding. They want April there. It sounds like they're like, forget about that invite guy. Your face is going to be showed to all of the ushers and security, and go away.
Yeah,
and not be there at the show. They had their Popeye moment where they stands all they can stands a month too early for Aaron. Now he's gonna have to scramble for that show.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. He has the anniversary show coming up, and Ain't nobody going to be there,
everyone
man.
that he would have reached out to 6 months ago, he can't anymore. I think
No.
that Carl was in the mix. Carl's
that.
definitely not in the mix anymore.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Aaron shouldn't have never said anything, because Carl would have still came out. He wouldn't have cared. Even if Carl cloned his show every day for a week, he would still come out to do Movies Roast or whatever. Because Aaron would have handled it better. You know what I mean?
That is a point in the narcissist scale of Carl embarrassing Aaron and him just being unable to take it. So that was Missy B has her segment, a couple of Is This a Narcissist on Who Are These Podcasts? And I was one of the people who was like, I think it's a miss this time, Missy B, when you put Aaron in the non-narcissist category. I think you misdiagnosed him there, because this embarrassment that has him going nuclear on anyone who just pokes a little fun at him is such Stuttering John levels of stuff that we've seen for years from that guy.
Exactly. Aaron has got a thin candy shell. I don't know what to do about him. I'm very close to reaching out to try to help him. I don't know what to do. He needs some type of direction.
I think we mentioned it on this episode where it needs to be his idea to help him as well. That was my former comedy partner, where if it wasn't his idea, he killed so many of my comedy projects because it wasn't his idea. And then it's like, well, if you're just going to kill things that we collaborate on that you didn't originate, then I can't be here anymore. If you just want a lackey, which is really what he wanted. We started collaborating when I was in a poorer headspace. And when I got better, and he was not interested in equal, he was interested in a lackey. He was interested in a girlfriend, like with the baby bird syndrome. And oh boy, that was such a fun turn when she realized that the girl that was 10 years younger than him realized she had the vagina and all the power. That was a fun day.
I can only imagine the conversation that happened.
And I did have Captain Miserable's comment up for a little while without addressing the character who went movie on his wife. I think those were always very special episodes where it was a special guest star. I can't think of one of those sitcom characters where it was regular and ongoing. As we start to wrap up our overtime, we've got 30 seconds left of Keanu giving her opinions and her turn on Aaron.
Complete turn.
Any of the pain and turmoil you've put us all through. Okay? That literally breaks my heart to say. Okay? And we like you. We were there for you. We tried to have your back, but you were not honest. You weren't honest at all. You'll tell us one thing, then you're on a show and it's a whole nother fucking thing. There's no trusting you.
Yep.
She spends the beginning of the
So, yeah, we did not get to the one video I had in this queue where Aaron, I forget the point I was even making earlier, where he actually admitted to something. The back from the vacation. It's that video that we could keep on going, but as I mentioned, I don't like to overstay my my welcome, and the way we've been commenting over these videos, that would get us to 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So, that's the point of the show. We're commenting over the videos. I always over prepare rather than under prepare, and I have gotten a little better at it. I believe there on the list of videos, that is the one we didn't get to, where it was always like 3 to 6 that we didn't get to. So I'm starting to get a little better at being able. So over preparing by one, it's actually pretty darn good.
Okay, I feel better then.
Yeah, over preparing is a good thing. And is there? Nope, that one's too long. I was seeing if, and we went over that one. Yep, that's all we're gonna do for the Aaron clips of today. And thanks for joining, folks. Thanks for keeping the chat moving quickly. I like to keep up with it as much as I can. and a lot of drug talk that was going on in the chat. I skipped over some of those to help get me closer to where we currently are.
But yeah, there
It's
was
funny.
a lot of explanation.
It's funny the side tangents that the chat can get on. Like there was like a support group a few weeks ago of talking about the unhealthy relationships that some of the we've all been in them, and I
Yes.
mentioned it was the town bike. It wasn't my bike. It wasn't Debo's bike. It was the town bike that I had my biggest heartbreak on because I was a fool in high school. And it was like, but I put my baseball cards in the spokes. It's my bike. It's not the town bike.
Yeah, I had that problem when I got my first job. There was like girls everywhere, and just like movie, it was too easy to fall in love. Like, you're 18, you don't know. So, you think everything is life or death, but it's not. You just move on. It's a numbers game. It's a numbers game.
The more recent big heartbreak I had from one of those, she just wasn't into me, and I've gotten much better at that. Of like, oh, she's not into me. Drop the drop it, boner. Don't bring those feelings up here. Because she just wasn't into me, and huge heartbreak where it didn't need to be, and that does appear to be where Aaron is, where he would have I don't know if he would have a huge heartbreak. He is just love casting everywhere until Slam Bag was like, oh, I got one, this one works, come home with me.
Yeah, no, he's definitely just transferring feelings from one person to the next. He has no real care about who it is. He just needs to put those feelings in that human vessel, so that way he could feel better about himself.
I find D from Always Sunny to have a less annoying voice, Mustard Tiger. Of all the annoying voices that we've talked today, some people found April more grating. I found Squeaky Kiki to be the most grating of the voices. And this is coming from a guy who was into that Jennifer Tilly sounding tattooed Lego lady. She will be coming back in an upcoming TikTok around the clock. I think I'm the only one who said smash on her, but she's a Lego lady. Yeah. Too crazy for you, huh? I understand her being too crazy, but hopefully I would realize that after a couple of dates, if her craziness is indeed on those levels of too much.
I got obsessed when I saw that. Like, I was like, what set is she putting together? And it was so grainy when I zoomed in, but I found it. It was the haunted house. It was from the haunted castle or something. I posted on Twitter. But that I was just like, now there's a Jaws Lego. I got to go look. You know what I'm saying?
What's funny, that's a few minutes ago. Before I even mentioned the crazy Lego lady, the chat was already naturally talking Legos. So that crazy Lego lady with the one red contact in and the one zombie contact in with the Jennifer Tilly voice.
Yeah, one of
she
the
might
other
win
contacts.
some of you over too. But that was a pass for the vast majority of the chat, as is Skittles, is a smash for me and a pass for basically the entire chat. And I did edit out an ASMR segment I wanted to include unless there is something fucking odd going on that we're pointing at something odd, just the mouth sound ASMR. I've put a moratorium on that. The chat hates it. The viewers fucking go away. Even the lady doing impersonation, I didn't think would be too much, but for some people that was too much. And that did fall under the category of she's doing something weird. It isn't just the blowjob mouth noises.
Yeah, and I like the anti-ASMR guy. He breaks out like the cheese grater. He's just like, rrr. That guy's hilarious.
I am crippled with laughter. Like the many minutes I have to edit out of the anti-ASMR cheese grater hammer on a cooking pan. I am crippled with laughter. But 1 minute that for
that's
the TikTok
enough.
show, that's I like to keep it around 1 minute minimum. Some people get under that, but yeah, we'll show you that and we'll get out so it isn't too grating on him.
Right. Oh, yeah, Crumb's also an adult fan of Legos. So is Mr. Corndeff.
Yeah, we are amateur psychologists. It is hard not to diagnose some people and yeah, it is kind of lame. But I agree with you, Captain Miserable. But it is just easy to, because now we are all aware of the DSM-4, the DSM-5.
Yeah, DSM-5 is the one.
I haven't been up to date with the DSM-5.
Yeah, that's the new one.
The DSM-4 was the last one that I scrolled through.
I'm pretty sure my ex-wife was pulling affectations at random out of that book so she could be a quirky girl, and it was just too much for me.
JJ's Clippables. You can be the judge of her boobies. She had illustrated boobies. So that was a definite no for Luigi Greenberg. That was the last TikTok around the clock, and I believe she'll be back on the next TikTok around the clock next week, Tuesday and Wednesday for the rest of July, as I go to do adult shit and help around the house, because my roommate needs a little help doing some stuff around here. Won't get into business that isn't mine, but business that is only me. That doesn't include a third party, Aaron. I will talk all about that.
Third party.
Oh, and plugs. That's where we're at. Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday through Thursday regularly. Tuesday, Wednesday for the next few weeks as I go to the DMV and do adult shit.
Yeah,
and,
I got adulting to do
talk
too.
around the clock next week. Spurg Snake's Secret Stash on Sundays, and some music compilations popping up on Spurg Snake's Secret Stash. And we're both regularly rotating into DJ Electra's Lunchbox. And got to drop Luigi Greenberg's unboxing Eric over on Hack Ride as well. That's a fun. I missed that live. It's back on YouTube. YouTube had a problem with it. Luckily, I caught it on Rumble, and the second one is back on YouTube. They resolved whatever YouTube's issue was on unboxing Eric.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't even think they played a clip that was more than 30 seconds about anything. It was SiriusXM that was like, "Hey, you can't do that, you bastards." But that's probably my favorite new show, is the Unboxing Eric, because I am new to it, and having Electra there, also being new to it, you know, it really gets people in, and it's fun. Call number 3, he was already doing Stern. He was already doing that. So, you know, and
they
Luigi
started getting
Greenberg,
into his surliness. Episode 1, he wasn't surly, but episode 2, Surly Eric started getting his way. And based on what DJ Electra was talking about last night, I threw Luigi Greenberg a suggestion. Hey, you could throw this into the Erics. And yeah, he is quick on that AI art. Here's what it looks like. Fucking great. And JJ got to me on the Discord for Trainwreck TV, and I will be DMing you later today to get on that show. And unfortunately, I didn't hear the updates after Luigi Greenberg plugged it last night. So I tuned in after it was off the air. I'll get back to that. Big fan of Helga and Lisa, two people who are just very accepting of the goofing on them. Unlike my buddy.
I think Helga's the one that sits on the left, right? Correct. I mean, on the left side.
Yes, that's Helga. Okay. And Lisa is the one that people are doing monologues of. Okay. And she's got the fantastic drop. Nobody cares. That's Lisa.
I'm going to have to check that out later.
The voicemailers over on Who Are These Podcasts, someone called in doing the planes, trains, and automobiles monologue as Lisa, and it was fantastic.
Nice. Oh, boy. So all right.
That was the plugs. Come back, like, subscribe to Dylan from somewhere, and hit me over the head with a hammer if I get too Aaron on you when I flip the switch and start asking for shit. But I will do my best to not go full Aaron on that. That's all we have for today. That's all we have for this week. Because 2 days, back to 3 days soon. And I'll see you soon on Lunchbox and in the chat on other fun shows. Thank you for joining me once again, Spurg Snake. Thank you, beloved chatters, for being beloved chatters and joining. Comment after it's over to help the algorithm get some more people in here. And Annie's show, Pray, coming up. We've got it scheduled for next week. if we postpone it, I could play the shit out of that game for another week. It's been fun.
Yeah, I gotta put more. Yeah. It's giving me that same vibe that I got from Portal and Portal 2, where like everything just becomes so grandiose. Portal 2 mostly. But like you walk into somewhere and it's just a huge room and there's places to go and it's really fun. And I already got jump scared a couple times. I came around the corner and there was one of those mimics in a tent. Fuck that, man.
Yeah, Annie is up to push it back. Yeah, me and Spurgsnake are really enjoying Prey. We would not. We would enjoy having a little more time with it for sure, because it's a fun big game, and definitely enjoy it, and would like to give it the time it deserves.
Yeah, 100%. I tried to play it years ago, and you know how I don't want to spoil anything, but you get through that initial tutorial. Push the button, hide behind the chair.
They have a good tutorial of this is how you do this is how you do that, and then here's the bad guy.
Yeah, and when that happens for the first time, I was like, "Fuck this!" I just shut it because I knew I was going to get scared. I'm not good at survival horror. I'm not good at inventory management. I am a bullheaded fool, and I will just run at everything guns blazing, and that's not always the best approach. But this game has multiple ways to play it. So it's not a stealth Resident Evil type of game. It's more like you're trying to find out what the hell's going on around you, much like
lots of Dead Space vibes.
Yeah,
I covered that with Annie. I absolutely adore Dead Space, and I've got a lot of Dead Space vibes from this. And being that I didn't have a job then, so I was able to give it so much time within the 2 weeks. But having a job, I do need to budget my time differently.
Yeah,
so
I know.
That's coming up soon on What Is This Game with Prey, and I think I've signed off twice now.
Yeah.
So we will make this the sign off for the final time. Thank you for joining me, Spurgsnake. Thank you, beloved chatters, for joining me. Now feel free to go away.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for going on this adventure with me. It's fun being with friends. I'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye for now.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day.
Places all join hands, circle left. Now circle right and listen to me. LSMFT. Elementary corners like swinging on a gate. To right to you, honey, with the right left date. Grand right and left around you go. Lucky strike means fine tobacco. Meet your honey and give her a whirl. All swing around with the little girls. Smoke 'em, then you'll see. LSMFT. Promenade and don't you fall. Promenade around the hall. Lucky strike is first again with tobacco men. Promenade straight down the pike. It's time right now for a lucky strike. Yes, for smoking that you're bound to like, you just can't beat a lucky strike.